I'm MizzeeOH. As some of you may remember, I've done some recent commentaries on each episode of The Walking Dead, AMC's new series centering on zombies, an adaptation of the original comic series. Well, now I'm going to offer a follow-up video to that, sort of a vlog just commenting on the whole season in general, my thoughts on it, where it may go from here, etc. So, I think that overall it was a very, very good opening season for it. The ratings just were amazing for it. Obviously it was successful. So season 2 has already been announced. That's going to be airing probably in October, I heard. One of my complaints was the length of this season. The 6 episodes. That's very short. I haven't heard of that for any series other than miniseries, and this obviously is not a miniseries. So maybe they just wanted to do that to gauge the reactions of people, see how successful it was. But now, since it's obviously very successful, I mean, I know it's even been nominated at the Golden Globes for Best New Drama Series. But since it's successful, they're definitely going to keep going with it, and I know the second season is going to be 13 episodes, so they're trying to, like, you know, catch up there. The characters were very well developed, for one, in season 1. My favorites were probably, overall, Dale and Shane. I don't know, I liked them from the beginning. Sure, Shane is kind of a, you know, thief of his apparently dead best friend's wife. Well, that's not very good, but, yeah. Of course, I don't like Lori that much, but, you know, for similar reasons. But I didn't really get a good feeling for her anyway from the beginning. She's just one of those characters where you kind of cringe as soon as she comes onto the screen. You don't really know why, but ever since then, I just have not liked her from the very first episode. Yeah, I think she was introduced in the first episode, maybe the second. But, yeah. Shane was cool, Dale was cool. Rick, I found it interesting that, like in the first episode, it was pretty obvious that Rick was the main protagonist of the whole season, the whole series, probably. But as it progressed, it kind of focused more on the other characters of the series instead of him. It focused more on Andrea, Shane, Lori, Dale, the redneck brother of Merle, who I still don't know the name of? Yeah, I forgot his name. I knew it at some point, but I forgot it. Speaking of Merle, it's gonna be interesting to see where that whole thing goes, because that hasn't been concluded. We don't have any closure to that storyline now. Last time we saw him, he was on the roof, handcuffed, and apparently he had cut his own wrist off to get away, taken the truck of the whole group, or at least leads me to believe what happened, that he did take the truck. But, I mean, you would lose... Okay, I guess you wouldn't lose blood from that because he cauterized it. I forgot about that. Still, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes with that. I've heard some speculation from people who have read the comics that he might be a future character in the comics called the Governor. I don't know who that is. I haven't researched that much, in part because I don't want to really spoil myself for the future. Of course, they've already changed it from the comics enough that even if I read up on that, it might not be spoiling myself for future episodes. One interesting thing to note, that a huge change from the comics to the series. Well, if you don't want a really big spoiler for the comics, then just kind of skip ahead a few seconds. But originally, Shane was supposed to be killed off this early in the series. Probably around the Vatos episode. Because I remember everyone talking about that specific detail after that episode. So, that was interesting when I heard it, because the writer of the comics, he thought, way back when he killed Shane in the comics, that the comic series wouldn't go on for that long. So he kind of had to sort of wrap up certain stories sooner than he had wanted to. He wanted to keep Shane around, but he just didn't think the comic series would go far enough for him to give him the development he wanted to, so he killed him off early in the series. Of course, now that an adaptation of it is being made, he can have that time to give Shane the development he wanted to in the beginning, so that's pretty cool. I'm very glad at that, because, like I said in the beginning of the video, Shane is one of my favorite characters of the whole series so far. So, it would have been disappointing had he been killed off, and it's also just the storytelling potential for that, you know, because the whole sort of love triangle between him, Laurie, and Rick. I mean, I guess it's not really a love triangle because Laurie, it's not like she's debating going back to Shane since Rick is alive. But there's certainly some tension there, and I know eventually Rick is going to find out, so that's going to be some definitely good storytelling, hopefully. Hopefully they won't mess that up. You know, hopefully these new writers that have apparently been hired or are going to be hired aren't going to mess that up. Because another thing that's happened is the producer of this series, I forgot his name. Like, actually, I think he's like the main writer / producer, whatever. But he has he has fired all of the writers below him. So he's gonna just write the rest of the series himself and or hire freelancer writers. I'm not sure if I really like that idea because I like the writing of season 1. I do. I mean, sure, there are a few things that are kind of annoying. Like, you know, the unbalanced nature of character development episodes, action, character development, action, character development. It's like you kind of get one or the other in each episode, except for Vatos. That was a good episode, and you had both action and character development. The last episode of the whole season didn't have any action as far as I remember. No zombies at all, which really kind of sucked. I mean, season finale of a zombie show, you want zombie killing. But hopefully he's thought it out enough that he realizes this and he's fired the writers because of this, so there'll be a bit more balance. But yeah, I just don't think so. I mean, I hope it doesn't take a bad direction because of this. Because the whole unbalanced thing, it can be something that's fixed fairly easily with the current writers. I mean, they can just be told, okay, get it together a little bit, go and balance it out a bit more, but you don't need to fire them, especially when they've done a perfectly decent job so far. I mean, look at the ratings the show has gotten. It's very popular. The character development was great. I mean, it's been great so far. So, I personally don't think they should have been fired, but I guess, I suppose this lead writer knows what he's doing. Let's see. Well, I definitely want to read the comics now after watching this. I checked them out at Barnes & Noble the other day. God, there's so many. Well, I guess the comic's been running for like 7 years now, so there would be a lot. But I might not get to them for a while, but it's definitely on my list of things to read and undoubtedly review. With luck, I'll be able to read and review the first Walking Dead trade paperback before the second season airs. That would be very cool. Yeah. And I also have to wonder, like, do they do each season... Do they do a season for each trade paperback? It'd be interesting to find out. The action itself, when we did see it in the show, was very good. The effects were very good. Luckily, they didn't try to do things so elaborate that it made it just hokey and stupid. I mean, they kept it to a level that was still believable. They didn't even make it that comic book-ish, which is very good. I like the comic book-ish style for things like, you know, Kick-Ass, But for a show like The Walking Dead, which is trying to go for a more, you know, actual dramatic storyline, I don't think it would have really fit for this. So I like the action and how it was. The whole storyline of it was very good. Yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where the characters go from here, because I mean their cars don't have any more gas anymore, as was noted in the second to last episode. Because remember, everyone's panicking because they get to the CDC and, you know, it looks like no one's there. Everyone was like, oh yeah, we came here for no reason. It was all pointless. Now where do we go from here? We don't even have enough fuel to get back. So I guess they'll have to find some fuel there in, whatever city they were in. I can't remember what city they were in at the end of the episode. I don't think it was ever noted, though. I could be wrong. But yeah, that's about it. My whole thoughts on the season in general. I hope the second season maintains the same level of quality as the first season, if not better. I would like it to be a bit better because, as I've said, there were a few complaints I've had about this season. I mean, not any really big ones, but I mean a couple things that could be fixed. But overall, I was very satisfied. Let's just hope the firing of the writers, like we've just heard about, won't totally screw things up. Yeah. Don't want it to take the direction of other certain shows that have started off really well, but kind of gone down in quality. Of course, I won't name names there, but that's about it. I hope you enjoyed my little vlog on this. I hope you also enjoyed, once again, my commentaries on each episode for the first season. Of course, as soon as the second season comes back on, I will be doing commentaries for that also. So, you know, if you enjoyed these commentaries and this vlog, even though this right here is pretty different from the commentaries I've done on each individual episode. But anyway, if you've enjoyed all of those, be sure to check out the ones for season 2 when it comes back on. Might even do those in video format, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Anyway, so long. Goodbye.